Hello and welcome, friends, to this week's episode. And today we are going to dive in and chat a little bit about part two in my four-part series on walking you through how to actually sell digital products on Pinterest. So if we have not met before or connected before, welcome to this channel, to my show, to this video, wherever you are catching me today. And I want to introduce myself. My name is Jen Dice, and I am a Pinterest strategist. So today I am breaking down step two, video two, part two of these steps that your customer goes through before they make a purchase, or basically walking you through the customer journey. So when we think about selling digital products on Pinterest, there are some ways that you can sell directly off of Pinterest, where let's say you have an e-commerce shop, you have a little bit of content that you're creating for a blog post. So you're putting content out consistently and you're consistently driving traffic to your online store. That is one way. People do make purchases and they make buying decisions for smaller products like that or digital products. But what I want to dive into today through these steps in this series is really walking you through what your customer goes through before they get to that point of checkout or sale, or they actually purchase something from you. So if you have not caught the first part for this series, I will link it below in the comments. You can go back and catch that first part one. So part two, we are talking about how to sell digital products on Pinterest. And part two is all about creating those pin designs that get the click. So if you think about your person, how they approach Pinterest, before they even know who you are, they have to get exposed to you or introduced to you. And they do that by opening up the Pinterest app. They start searching on Pinterest. They kind of narrow down and hone in on what they're looking for. It is your images, your pins that really spark that first impression. And that is your first interaction or connection with your potential customers on Pinterest. So those pins, those designs that you're putting out there, they actually play a pretty big role in really helping somebody walk through that customer journey and then taking those next steps with you versus continuing to scroll in the search feed and clicking off somewhere else. So how do we do that? How do we create pin designs that get the click? Well, I'm going to walk through three key things that I want you to keep in mind as you're working on creating pin designs, creating pin images for Pinterest. So the first thing when you're looking at your pin designs, number one, you want to stick within the boundaries of what Pinterest recommends for those tall pins. Usually you can create a pin design off of a template on Canva. That's the easiest place to start. So I would recommend starting there. So we've got our blank canvas for the pins and the designs that we're going to create. The first thing I want you to keep in mind is really looking at the images that are on that pin. What are the photos? What are the images? What are the colors? What are you representing on that pin as a visual? Because remember, Pinterest is a visual search engine. So keeping that thought in mind of how do you create imagery on your designs that really helps to pre-frame the person that's searching and really helps them determine through the images and some of the other things on the pin that really helps them determine that this is where I need to go. I need to click here because this person has what I'm looking for. So what are the images that you're putting on those pins? You want to really paint the picture through the imagery, whether that is product photos, whether those images are like if you're selling digital products, you have the mock-ups on your pin, whether that is lifestyle photos. So if you've got actual printed versions of your digital product and you're taking photos of that, or you're actually getting lifestyle photos of somebody using your digital product. So if you create a printable journal, you have photos of somebody actually using the journal, maybe it's you using the journal, but somebody can see that product and get an idea of what that solution has to offer, and they can see themselves in that. So images is number one. The second key thing to have in your pin design is the copy. So the text that you have on the image itself. Making sure that the text that you're putting out there, it grabs their attention. It really kind of shouts out what the solution is, what they're going to get when they click through. And it's very clear about the content that is on the other side of that pin, because people are searching and they're scrolling, and your pin is one of many in a feed full of pins. So that image has to help that pin stand out. But not only that, people are going to get caught by the imagery, maybe the pin design, the colors, the photos that really stands out to them. That's what's going to grab them first. But the copy or the text that you put on the pin is going to help them really understand and decide, is this for me or is this not for me? So having that copy on the pin that's very clear about what the content is once they click through. So whether that is you're describing what the journal is, who it's for, what your product does, those types of things. So that's kind of what you want to keep in mind when you're putting the text on the pin itself. And the third key when you're looking at creating pin designs that get the click is having a call to action. It's sometimes not enough just to have a really good image and a title that tells the person what is on the other side of the pin, but to have that call to action, like download now, get your free copy, read the post, those calls to action that really help to give your person that next step to take. You have to tell them what to do so that they know what the next steps are. So having that call to action. So to summarize it all, if we're looking at the customer journey, your customer walks through steps when they approach Pinterest. They're not just going to come onto Pinterest, know exactly who you are and know what you have to offer and find the nearest checkout. They go through a process, they go through a journey. So when they are searching on Pinterest, they are looking through the different images, the pin images in the feeds. They're trying to figure out, number one, are they searching in the right spot? Or is Pinterest showing them in the ballpark of what they're looking for? As they start to narrow down their search, that's where they're going to start to see those pins. And that's where they're going to start really looking at the pins themselves and determining within seconds whether or not your pin designs are what they need or that they need to learn more about what you have to offer. So that's your first impression, what you have on that pin, the images, pre-framing them so they understand that what the solution is through the images, through the colors, through the overall imagery that you have on your pins. You have the text and the copy that really is crystal clear on what is on the other side of the pin, so they know what they're getting. So they see the image that kind of grabs their attention. They get an idea by looking at the image itself of what the pin is all about, what the content is going to be all about. But then that title really locks that in for them and really defines what they're going to get when they click through. And then that call to action, that third thing, having that call to action being super crystal clear so that they know, okay, this image really is along the lines of what I'm looking for. The title is pretty clear. I know what I'm going to get, and I have the call to action so that I know when I click through, this is what I'm going to have to do. So if it is a digital product, if it is a freebie that you're looking at having somebody download, if it is a lower ticket product that they have to look through, having that call to action to learn more, to download now, to shop now is going to give them an indication of what they're going to get when they get to the other side. So making sure that all of that is clear so they are pre-framed and ready and they know what they're going to get when they click through, whether or not they buy. They just need to have an idea of what is on the other side. And if they click through, that image helps to pre-qualify the person that is clicking to your digital product, to your blog post, to your freebie. That is going to help to pre-qualify them so that once they know what's going to be on the other side, whether they are shopping your store, if they know that they're going to be in an e-commerce store and they're going to be shopping and they see that as a call to action, they're going to be more willing to go through and look at the product that you're pinning to or driving traffic to, or some of the other items that you have in your e-commerce shop. If you are selling, if you just have a freebie and they know that they're going to get a download or some extra information from the blog post that they're on, then they know they're pre-framed and ready that they have to click over to that landing page, or that's what they're gonna find that next call to action to take that next step with you to, or they're gonna have to enter their information to get that free download. But either way, you have to catch their attention in the feed with your images. You have to be crystal clear with your text and your copy on the pin so you can define for them what is actually on the other side of that pin. And number three, you have to tell them what they need to do next. Have a call to action so they know they have to click through and what they're going to get once they get to the other side. So I hope this quick video training was helpful on how to create pin designs that get the click. Again, if you wanted to catch part 1 in this 4-part series, there's a link below in the comments. You can click and check that video out. And also subscribe to get my latest videos. Subscribe to this channel. You will get get alerts for my latest videos as they roll out, more Pinterest and marketing tips, so you won't miss any of my free trainings that I put out. And if you want to connect more, you want to learn more about Pinterest for your business, you're looking at marketing your business on Pinterest, and you want to know maybe a few of the first steps to get started, click the link below to join my free community. That is where I go live. That is where I offer more in-depth training and tips and give you first VIP access to anything that I roll out regarding Pinterest and getting Pinterest up and running in your business. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you next time when I show back up with another training. Otherwise, thank you so much, and I will talk to you next time. All right. Bye, everybody.